Hello and welcome again to Static Channel 12, in which we are doing just a simple review of the movie Total Recall by Paul Verhoeven, the 1990 version. My name is Christian, and here's my co-host, Marvin.
What up, though?
Alright, Marvin, so we just finished watching Total Recall after previously doing a watch of Hercules in New York. So, how do you feel on the difference of quality of these two Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, in which he was the star in both of them?
Just for context, so we were originally planning to do mix in Hercules, our last episode, with Total Recall. Kind of have a good and a bad Arnold movie, but because we were expecting Hercules to be kind of lame and not have much to talk about, we thought we'd be 5-10 minutes on it and
Well,
we'd move
actually,
on.
kind of was, but we ended up talking more than we thought, right?
Yeah, there was more to the movie than we thought, so that's why this got split up into a two-parter. Yeah, coming off of Total Recall, I heard lots of things. I know it's big in the sci-fi and the sci-fi community. A lot of people really like this movie, but I never gotten to watch it.
It's a pretty good action movie in
It's
its own.
it's very good, and I see why it has it's beloved. It's very good, and I kind of wish I would have watched it earlier. I really like this movie. I never see this is first time. This is 5 minutes off of us watching the movie. Initial thoughts. I really like it. It's got Arnold's acting is much better.
Yeah. Although you're still a little stilted, right?
A little bit, but it looks like Marlon Brando compared to Hercules.
Yeah, a big difference.
Very
Because,
big
what,
difference.
this came out in 1990 and Hercules in New York in 1970.
It's like
So,
yeah.
exactly 20 years.
Was it exactly 20 years? Damn.
I guess, well, 20 years, yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. But yeah, no. The acting is better. The sci-fi elements are better. The setting is better. The supporting cast and the writing is better. The flow is better. Everything is just better about this movie,
Oh, yeah,
and
it's
I
also
like it.
done by a really good director with a good budget.
Yeah.
Really good budget.
The sets look good. I know people talk about the effects, so we'll get to that. Going off Verhoeven, I know that we both have seen other films of his, most notably Starship Troopers and RoboCop. And
Two other big famous ones.
yeah, those are great. Those are sci-fi beloved classics. And then I don't want to mention some of his other movies, but anyways, those are the two. Well, I guess three now that I really enjoy. I've seen those movies and I liked it, and that's why I was kind of excited going into this because knowing that Arnold's acting is better, knowing that it's a good director, and I've liked some of his other stuff, I liked it. It was really good.
It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably like I think I saw it like originally as a kid, long time ago, which I don't remember much. And then I saw it a second time a couple years ago, and I really liked it. So this is my third viewing, and it's definitely like it's a pretty well done movie. It's like the special effects, the sets. You know, Arnold's acting isn't all that great, but he does what he's supposed to. The other actors around him are great. Like the two main villains, love the acting.
Yeah, Arnold acting has always been a little bit stilted, and he needs that.
He doesn't have range, but he's always been put in movies that they know he's gonna be do good at.
Yeah, and some of his other movies are just how should I say this? The supporting cast in other of his movies, like I'll use Terminator 2 for example, it's so like Arnold does a good job. But because having, say, John, Sarah, and obviously the T-1000 to kind of bounce off and play with and feed off of that energy, it plays perfectly into the movie. And I feel like we got that effect here. Like having the villains, the henchmen, the wife, the love interest, I don't know, sidekick. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what her role is, but whatever. Having them, they were all really good. I'm not familiar with them as much, except for Sharon Stone. Actually, no, that's a lie. I am familiar with bits and pieces of their, but I have enjoyed him in other pieces of media that I've seen him in. But yeah, no, it perfect. It was kind of cheesy sci-fi action, but it was perfect for him, and he crushed it. I think.
Yeah, he had the kind of naive kind of dude caught up in stuff above his head, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we could start with like the premise or something for those that haven't seen the movie. And this is obviously going to be very spoiler heavy.
Spoiler.
So if you haven't seen the movie, I recommend you watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like other reviews about some pretty kind of crappy movie as Hercules in New York was, which I don't care about the spoilers on that one, but this one I do care about the spoilers. Mm-hmm. So if you want to watch it before this, because this is your spoiler warning. So I guess the premise is like, what's the guy's name? His character, Quaid?
Douglas Quaid?
Douglas Quaid. Mm-hmm. So he starts out as this average Joe kind of guy who, for some reason, has like a crazy obsession with Mars.
Yeah, they never explained it, but yeah.
I don't know, man. Is it explained? Well, all right. There's the whole movie. It's definitely leaves things as a very ambiguous ending, and there's like hints throughout the movie that make you question if what Quaid is experiencing, or Arnold is experiencing, if it's a dream, a simulation, or if it's actual real life. Because he starts out his life as like, he starts out in the movie as an average Joe who wants to go to Mars for some reason. He has like an obsession. But then you could kind of see it too, that the people around him don't want him to think about Mars. They don't want him to go to Mars. They don't want him to care about Mars. They were always trying to lead him away from there. And then he ends up going to this company. What's it called?
Recall.
Recall.
With a K.
Recall with a K. In which apparently they give you your dream vacation, in which they implant you memories and make it feel like you were there. Mm-hmm. And Arnold, for some reason, really wants to go to Mars. All right, take it from there.
Yeah, so this movie is famous for its ambiguous ending. It left me angry and confused.
You like the ambiguous ending?
And for me, ambiguous endings, it's a love-hate relationship. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Either way, I'm still frustrated because I'm a guy who likes concrete answers, and this is not that. But yeah, I've read up a little bit on it. I've seen that pro and con. Yay, is it a dream? Nay, is it real? And he was a secret agent, whatever.
But it's just like I'm saying, it's like since the beginning, it kind of sets it up like. It's not giving you the full answer. It's making you question.
It really isn't because
it makes you question. It's like, what is this, a simulation, or is he actually involved in this affair?
So I did say this during where we were watching it. Is like, okay, so they're obviously messing with like the future memory insertion and manipulation thing, messing with the brain, all that stuff, and it made me think like this is kind of. I feel like it's gonna lean into like a Matrix like kind of. Is it real? Is it not type of situation? Which you kind of give me those vibes. It might be a predecessor to setting up. Kind of what the Matrix did, but yeah, it definitely leaves. I like that there is the mystery, no matter what, from like pretty much the first minute of the movie to the very ending. There's a mystery of it. Of is it real? And it makes you think.
Because it's pretty obvious. Because like, it's like Arnold or his character Quaid. He's married to like
Sharon Stone.
Yeah, Sharon Stone, the character of Sharon Stone. And when he's like trying to like watch the news on Mars or like talking about going to vacation at Mars, like. It's pretty obvious that his wife doesn't want him to go to Mars or think about Mars. But was always trying to lead his attention. And then, like, I think he was talking to his coworker about going to the memory implant to recall. Yeah. And his coworker's like, yeah, don't go there. You're gonna get lobotomized like my cousin or something.
My cousin Vinny got
lobotomized. Like, for some reason, like, alright, like Quaid just goes. He's like, I really want to go to Mars. He's like obsessed with it.
He goes on his lunch break and tries to get a memory of a vacation to Mars or something.
Yeah. And then they give him the options, right? And what's the option that he picked?
I think it was first they try to turn him away from.
Oh yeah. That's right. The recall tried to turn him away from Mars.
So that's part of the mystery because they give you a little bit of a crumb of like, is it real, is it not? It's sowing doubt into your mind about like what's the obsession with Mars and why are they trying to steer him away from Mars? Because they talk about Saturn. His wife brings up Saturn, like, oh, let's go to
Saturn.
Let's go to Saturn. It's very beautiful, space, yada yada. And
you guys have to figure out this is a sci-fi movie, so it's like a very futuristic world. Space travel is real. There's mining in Mars. Yeah,
it's kind of in line with Verhoeven's other movies with like futuristic RoboCops and wars
Starship
against
Troopers.
Intergalactic space and interstellar war with bugs, stuff like that. Even though they use crappy guns, like whatever. Anyways, but so overexplaining it. But yeah, so he goes to get his mind implanted with a memory of Mars. They strap him to the machine, and something goes wrong. They start freaking out. He freaks out. The people are freaking out, and then they're like, get rid of him, we want nothing to do with this. They throw him in, they drug him, they throw him in a cab.
They try to erase his memories of him being there, right?
Yeah, they're like, there's no record. We never heard of this guy. I'm gonna give you your money back. Get out of here! Like they throw his unconscious body into a freaking robo taxi.
Say he suffered like some kind of a condition, schizophrenic something, right?
Something with the mind went wrong during the procedure.
Yeah, the procedure went wrong, and that was after he picked
Mars.
He picked Mars as a vacation, but he picked to be a secret spy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they show him options of what his love interest will look like. And his love interest ended up looking like a girl in his dreams that came up in the beginning of the movie. Because apparently he has recurring dreams of this one girl. And that's the girl that came up in the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So it adds to the mystery. It's like, alright. Was he then? Did he know her already beforehand?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it just a coincidence?
Yeah, because it really it definitely depends on the, let's be honest, like the human mind. It's weird. It varies so much, and it can do things like dreams, like different effects, the way people perceive things, personality.
Mm-hmm.
In the few, like between the intro of the movie to him getting strapped to the chair for the memory, they keep just throwing little details in that are really well done.
Uh-huh.
Like the dream he had, his wife not hating Mars, his coworker trying to warn him off, and then and then the lady even says like, "Oh, you can't do your job." It's like, we haven't done the procedure yet.
And then even like the secretary looks at him like she recognized him.
Mm-hmm.
Like she kind of was expecting him to come in, right?
Really? That's
what I thought.
I got the vibe that she thought he was hot. Like she was just checking him out.
You know what? That could be it.
Because I mean,
I could be looking too much into it.
But the thing is, that's what the movie gets you to think. It wants you to look at every little detail, even on different watchings. Because are we missing something? Why is everyone acting this way?
Yeah.
So this is a movie where it really is a little bit of a slow burn until it takes off right into the action and the boom, boom, boom.
Well, even the slow burn wasn't that long. It's just like.
But it sets up a lot.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
It gets you going, makes you think, and it's like, okay, yes, no, why is this guy, why is this girl, what is going on here? Mm-hmm. And then it just shoots you right into the action of like, let's go. Mm-hmm. This is an adventure. This is a spy. Something's going on.
Yeah.
So
it's like you said, it's like the procedure goes wrong. They dump him in a cab, which is driven by a robot. What was the robot's name?
It was like Johnny or something.
Yeah, it was apparently like a robo-taxi.
It's a robo-taxi with like a freaking half mannequin.
Yeah, it's like an actual fucking robotic mannequin just driving that around like an old-timey look.
Yeah, it looked like those like old-timey ice cream ads.
From the 50s. Yeah, like an old-timey ice cream man from the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's like driving him around. And then he ends up... where does he end? Oh, yeah, he drops him off close to his home, right?
Bus station?
Yeah.
Yeah, bus station, and his coworker meets him at like a bus station or something.
And that's when the craziness commences after the procedure went wrong, right?
After he left.
Yeah. It's like his coworker confronts him. It's like, oh, you ended up going back there? I told you not to go back there. And then him and his goons, his henchmen, just freaking grab him. And the guys, like his co-workers, like, I told you not to go back there. And I feel like they were trying to take him away, right? They were not gonna kill him right there.
I wasn't sure because they kind of lined him up on the wall. It looked like they were just about to blast him.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't want it to see in public because there were people, pedestrians, other taxis, whatever. So let's just take him essentially in the back alley and blast him and be done with it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But the thing is, like, as we later found out in the movie, it's like they wanted him alive. So it seemed like they were just trying to restrain him and take him away. But, it's like, I don't want to go, like, scene to scene. But, he confronts his wife about what happened. And then turns out that his wife is on it, too. That she didn't want him to go back in there and starts attacking him. Mm-hmm. And I guess the first thing we react is, like, she shoots at him and, like, she misses. But then it's like, she wasn't supposed to kill him, right?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The details are always a little muddied. And it's like, okay, so... why didn't they, if he's a threat to whatever's happening, why didn't they just kill him? They use the henchman, blast the guy. Why did the wife miss? But then, she's supposed to miss, and she was supposed to incapacitate him?
But then it's all later explained later in the movie, right?
Yeah. That's why we're kind of stopping a little bit, because, like I said, there's so many, like, characteristics and points that favor both it's real and it's not real.
Yeah. It's like, there's obviously going to be spoilers, but I don't want to, like, give away everything in the movie.
Of course.
It's like, alright, so it turns out that he can't trust anybody, and it becomes like a spy thriller.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ends up talking to himself because I guess it was planned for him to reawaken. So his previous life, his previous memory self, is able to communicate by leaving a video with him,
Mm-hmm.
and tells him to go to Mars.
Yeah.
And he ends up in Mars, where there's like a rebel faction fighting against I guess a mining boss or the one in charge of Mars.
Yeah, he's like in charge of like operations. I'm not sure if it's the entire planet or whatever, but in this area where the rebels are, I guess, resisting, he's in charge of like he's the big honcho. He manages the security and the business and the colony, and they answer to him.
He has control of the air, the oxygen of all the sections.
Yes.
So like the rebels are fighting against that. They want better pay, better work. How should I say, better labor situation, and more air, as they said.
They definitely oxygen is key.
So it's like it has a little bit of politics in there, in which like this guy, he's like a corporate boss, has total control of the lives over these people, and he uses them to mine. And it's also because it's like a little tourist destination, but there's like terrorist attacks that go on.
That was just weird. So yeah, it's just every day for Mars. It's like he gets past the like the customs, and then everyone gets like someone shoots the glass out, and then craziness happens, and everyone that one guy gets sucked into oblivion, and everyone's dying, and then he just like he just goes to get a taxi. And like one guy's like, "Oh, I'll take you," and then as they're getting in the taxi, I guess rebels open fire on like the security forces.
Yeah.
And then they're just like it's just they just keep getting in. Like, oh, they duck their head and they keep getting in the taxi, and it's just normal life for them.
Yeah. So there's obviously like social commentary, like a boss about a boss having complete control of like your life, and it's like exploiting you and just like killing you if you become an inconvenience. It's like, where else are you gonna go? You're freaking Mars.
It kind of it plays into a little bit of the sci-fi trope of like a mega corporation where they're in complete charge, and the protagonists have to struggle against it.
Yeah.
And it does it. It sets it up good.
And our character Quaid, he's like a spy, right? He's like trying to figure out what the hell he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But let me see. I guess that's a little bit of the premise of the movie. I don't want to go too much in detail because, like I said, it's like there's a lot of things that go on. So I was like, all right. So what are some things that stood out for you in the movie?
Let me see. That's got a good question. Definitely, obviously, the setup, the implant machine, Mars, and kind of all the effects.
Oh, yeah.
Like when the customs agent is going through, and then all the suctioning out, and then so spoiler, funny comedic moment. I guess he's trying to disguise himself onto Mars. And he's dressed as this large woman.
Yeah.
And I guess it's like a disguised suit.
Yeah.
Almost like an android, a hollow android.
It's like a futuristic fat suit.
Yeah, there you go. And he's answering. He's like, "How long are you gonna be in Mars? Are you bringing anything in? Yada yada." And I guess the suit malfunctions.
Yeah, like
so
glitches.
She starts glitching, and she starts like trying to like open her mouth with her fingers, and it's kind of weird. And then like the security forces notice, and the main guy, he notices, and he's like, "That's Quaid!" So then like, she keeps malfunctioning, and then she eventually just opens up, and Arnold climbs out of her.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, the helmet. The head of the lady is like a helmet, which is a bomb?
Yeah, he fucking chucks it at the security guard.
Yeah, and then
like the head still talks. It's like, I got a surprise for you, and it just fucking explodes.
on the security guard. And then they shoot out the glass, and it's like, why? And then the people get sucked into Mars, and it's like, okay, that's a huge design flaw. I'm gonna bring it up.
Yeah,
freaking glass on a planet with no atmosphere and oxygen. Oh, woo! Just goes into oblivion. But okay.
Yeah, it's just like it's a horrible design flaw.
It really is.
Which is taken into account by the characters. Like sometimes they like think twice about shooting at the characters because there's fucking glass.
Because we don't want to die.
But then there's like the one of the main bad guys. What's his name?
The Michael Ironsides?
Yeah.
Richter.
Richter.
I believe that's his name. Oops.
He's like, when he sees Arnold, he just doesn't even think. It's like the kind of character that he just starts blasting and he shoots the freaking glass, and all the people just start blowing out of the freaking thing, even himself.
Yeah, he's in danger and he like hold on to a guardrail, but he's about to like he's one like bad grip from death.
Yeah.
But he doesn't think about it because he just hates Arnold.
He just fucking hates him.
Yeah, he hates that guy.
And you know what? I get it. Because Arnold was banging his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, that's right, that's right. So the fake wife that Arnold is with is apparently his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're his love interest. I don't know if they're married or what, but
it looks like they're a couple.
Yeah, and then they also open with like they were in bed together and something happened, whatever, husband and wife. It happens.
So I was like, all right, he fucking hates Arnold because he's dating his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Because his girlfriend got assigned to be his fake wife.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not in the loop because apparently his boss is holding secrets from him. So he doesn't know like the full scale of what's going on either.
Mm-hmm.
So he just wants to fucking blast him.
Yeah, he really hates him.
Well, I guess for me, it's like, I guess the things that stood out for me is like the special effects, the props, the sets.
Yeah.
And just the story is entertaining, man. It's like non-stop action.
It really is.
As soon as like the coworker attacks Arnold, it's like fucking non-stop from there.
Yeah.
Nothing but action.
It really was like he gets out of the taxi, meets the coworker, and then just action.
All the way to the end, bro.
Yeah, really. I mean, yeah, pretty much. Like they don't. But the thing is, it doesn't feel like it's too much. They break it up pretty well.
No, it's evenly paced.
Him talking to I'm jumping ahead, but he talks to other characters in like small closed off rooms. Hey, what the hell's going on? How come you didn't call me? How come you didn't do this? Why are you alive?
And that's only for a small amount of time too.
Yeah, but it's enough where it gives you a breather, a little bit of explaining, more story, and bam, right into a case scene or a shootout or whatever.
Yeah, because like one of the rebel leaders, Cueto, it's like eventually he meets the rebel leader, Cueto.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a moment where like it's a little bit more chill. They're fucking figuring things out, and all of a sudden all the walls start fucking breaking apart because like the bad guys found them.
Mm-hmm.
So it just goes from 0 to 100 right there.
Mm-hmm.
After he opened his mind for Cueto.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Every detail they make it obvious, but it's small enough where it's like it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, why did he just do that? You know, it's like someone has shifty eyes. Why did he do that? So one thing that we mentioned is that the getaway driver, he's kind of like he's the taxi guy who got attacked initially within 5 minutes. He escapes with them and he's telling them and he's driving them around. And then you see like, who are you? They ask him, who are you? Hey, I'm one of you guys.
Yeah.
And then like he like kind of like looks around and then they focus on his face and it's like, okay, what is up with this guy now?
A little shifty.
Something's a little shifty about him. You gotta kind of keep him in mind. And then it turns out that, oh yes, surprise, I'm a bad guy.
He's a traitor.
He's a traitor.
I don't know. He's more like a mole.
He's a mole. Yeah,
he's
a double agent.
A double agent.
Yeah. So things like that I like. It's simple, but it's also complex a little bit. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't look down on you.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't like have to go out of its way to explain everything for you. It just you get it. You're able to catch the little shift of the eyes of the characters. That they're acting a little weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it turns out it's for a reason. It's because they're in on it. They're a double agent. They're out to get Arnold.
Mm-hmm. And it also applies the shiftiness to characters that may either be bad in the end or good.
Yeah.
So there was the scene where they meet up. So he leaves himself like, hey, you gotta get here. He leaves himself a clue. Get to here. And then at
the strip club, right?
Yeah, he goes to the motel first. Remember? Yeah. It's in part of his like the evidence he left for himself. Yeah. And then inside, there's a deposit box. You left something. Do you want it? He gets it, and then he leaves himself another note. So it keeps feeding into it, like, go. And that's one of the scenes that didn't have people exploding and dying. It's like, that is a breather. It gives you some story, some exposition. Let's go. So he gets a taxi and goes to the strip club, I think, whatever it is.
Well, before we go to the strip club,
yeah.
It's like, what you thought about the scene in the motel when the guy shows up? That's saying that he's from Recall.
Oh yes, so that is part of the reason why they keep sowing doubt into your own mind of, is this real? Because so he went to Recall and he selected the secret agent package, whatever, and then a guy shows up. He's like, hey, I don't have a gun. I'm alone. Here's your. That was a lie because his wife shows up 5 seconds later, but he's like,
his fake wife.
His fake wife. I'm from the company. You are having something's going wrong. I'm here to get you out. And then he's holding a gun to him. His head is like, I don't believe you. And he's like, yes, this is going on. And then he like tries to explain to him, everything that's happened right now, I can tell you verbatim what happened. This. The woman that you think you like, the woman in your dreams, the construction worker, the fights, blowing out Mars. He gives them every little detail, and then he's all like, "You need to get out of this."
Yeah, it's like you're like strapped to the chair. You're spazzing the hell out, man. You're having a psychotic breakdown.
So he's all like, "I can get you out, but you need to listen to me. Take this pill, swallow it, and then come with me."
Yeah, to escape the simulation.
Because and then he tells him, "Oh, what if?"
You know what?
Yeah.
Interestingly, I wonder the Wachowskis took the red pill.
The red pill
from that movie.
It could have been inspired because this seems
to
be
escape the simulation, right?
Yeah, and kind of going back a little bit, we'll back it up. Is that this is based on a novel from the author Philip K. Dick. He's been known to do kind of some sci-fi. I know him most from his alternate history work, Man in the High Castle, which I do recommend. But that's separate. But he's done things like that where he is like, what is going on? Like he's very kind of good at that. At least from what people have taken his work and put it on media, whether it's TV or film. And he seems to really sow that down. Like, what is going on? There's always something's churning, something's going on in the background, and this is part of that.
Everything's not what it appears.
It really doesn't. Like, there's one thing that appears to be on the front, but on the back, it could be something different, or it could be more of the same. And you really don't know. You don't know until you pull the curtain back and look.
It's like a theme of of lies, right?
And reality, and what is real.
Yeah, because it's like he even doubts himself because like as the movie progresses, it turns out later on that he couldn't even trust his past self.
He really couldn't. No.
No, he was being set up for the interest of a person that he's not anymore. So at that point, it's like I guess it creates the question. It's like, all right, who is Quaid? It's like who is the real person? Is it the person that was before him, his previous identity, or is it him now who's doing the actions?
Exactly.
Which I think the rebel leader Quaid touches upon, which he says like, it does not matter who you were in the past. What matters is your actions now, right?
Yes. So it's really kind of more of a like, who are you? Is it real? Is it not? What are you gonna make of it?
And does it even matter?
Yes.
Does it even matter if it's fake or not? It all comes down to what your actions are, right? Oh, that's interesting, man.
I think what it takes is it sows in things that it sows in some doubt, but it adds to the experience of is it real or not?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And yes, who were you? Who are you? Who will you be? Will you be the Hauser, the other guy, the guy in the video that you can't trust, like your former past self, or are you gonna keep being Quaid? And you're gonna save the day, and you're gonna whatever.
You're gonna be the hero that you always wanted.
You're gonna beat the bad guys and be the hero. But then it also the overarching of, is this real? Is this the machine from Rico that just they popped in a PDF file into my brain, or am I actually experiencing doing this in real world?
It's like was he actually a freaking spy in this world of Mars and Earth and the sci-fi world?
Yeah.
Or was it also just a simulation? Which, it shows that he picked those exact specifications for his dream fantasy, right?
Yes. I think there is definitely something to ambiguous media. I know. I looked up a little bit of it. Obviously, the most famous or most cited example of ambiguousness is Inception. The ending of Inception. I'm not gonna spoil that, but it does leave you with, okay, this is supposed to prove that this is real, and then you the audience, you the audience, the character believes one thing, but as it kind of ends up the movie, you the audience are like, wait, what just happened?
Is it really as it says?
Exactly, and then I guess that adds to the mystery because it adds to the dialogue of two different audiences or two people will get two different answers. You probably see it than I do, and etc. A third person would see it differently than us, and it adds to the dialogue because it sticks with you because you don't have a definitive answer. Most other TV shows, media, comic books, whatever, any other media will have. Most of them have answers. Good guy wins, bad guy loses, or nobody wins.
Yeah, the stories are fine.
Exactly,
they're the most common one.
But they're concrete.
They're concrete. Everybody goes. There's a beginning and there's an end. And that's why there's not that many movies that try to leave it too ambiguous because not everybody could pull it off. And it leaves audiences with a feeling of like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Which, do you think that's how you felt after watching all this?
I am angry.
So you didn't like that beginning.
I both do, but I like it because it adds more to the dial. It make to the thinker, and it probably something like that. A kind of a scratch that you can't really, or an itch that you can't really scratch. Will stay with you and make you think about the movie more. And it was a good movie.
Which is, I guess, honestly, I think that's what I find appealing about those kind of endings, because they stick to your mind
A little bit.
And for me personally, it's like I don't mind an ambiguous ending. It's like, I guess in a way my philosophy is just like, life is always kind of open ended. It's like nothing is gonna be like, not everything's gonna be fine line. And movies, if you pull it off, it shouldn't be any different sometimes, But I could see people being frustrated with that because there's already the ambiguity of living life. And then when you go see a movie, you want to be entertained, right? To have a beginning and an end.
And it's fine when a movie makes you think about deeper themes about, is this right? A person's point of view, two sides of two different sides of the same coin type of deal. But those usually have a point to make, and this is my one and only point from this character. The thing about it is this protagonist is giving us two different sides, and both are plausible. Is it real or is it not?
Yeah, because it definitely does not give you too much of one side of the other. If it's a simulation, or he's actually a freaking undercover spy.
And then different people will. Some guys, I've already, like I said, I did a little bit of research like after the ending of this, and some dudes are like, here's the evidence for why it's real. Here's the evidence for why it's not. And they're completely different scenes. Like, in the very beginning, this guy says blank. This girl says blank. Here's a piece of paper that proves it, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess that's part of the fun of it. It gets people to talk about it, like we're talking about it right now.
Exactly. It's something fun.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the ambiguous ending was earned? That it didn't come out of left field?
I think it kind of was, because
it was earned.
Yeah, because in the beginning when he's like setting up the machine, the dialogue and the situation and the context of the scene sets it up pretty well. It was like, oh, that didn't happen yet, or what exactly? Like it paces it and it fleshes it out a little bit. Yeah, it's not like, we just hit enter on a machine and then it fades to white and then okay.
Yeah.
At least in the beginning of the movie. The end, and I guess this is a spoiler too, but the end of the movie literally does that. He saved the day, he has the girl, and it fades to white.
It's like a perfect storybook ending.
But it's almost too perfect.
It's too perfect.
And it's like, is this really?
Is it a simulation that he wanted?
Exactly. And then is he supposed to wake up and like, oh wow, that was great? Or is this really he just saved Mars or whatever? And it's like, but then it also plays into it. This could just be the storybook ending of the movie that you are watching, or are we just messing with you? And this is all a dirty lie, and that's part of the appeal of this movie.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like, I guess, all right. One thing I could probably talk about is like when you talk to other people about this movie, the one scene that they always remember and they always bring up is the girl with the 3 titties.
Oh, yeah. So I had heard about that, actually, for Family Guy. That's where I remember hearing about it, because I'd never seen the scene. This is my first time watching it. And that was interesting. It adds to the quirkiness of like, they're at essentially like a strip club, brothel, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then like, look, I guess there are mutants on Mars. So here's a girl with 3 boobs. And it adds into the quirkiness of the whole area. There's mutants. There's a guy with like a mutated head, and he has one eye, and it looks like a feet flapping. It's weird.
There's a little person.
There's a little person.
Like, does that count as a mutant?
Not really. There's still people, but yeah. And then the 3 nipples and
bunch
of hookers.
I was commenting on it. It's like, you know what? Those three tits, they look fucking real.
So
they did a good job with the prop or the makeup or whatever it was.
Yeah, yes, the tits were dead. But it added it to like the whole thing of the effects look good.
Oh yeah, the makeup, all that. it looked really good.
The costumes, the sets, the makeup. I know that this is a little bit of an older movie, so not everything, like some of the green screen you kind of see.
Yeah.
But it's a 35-year-old movie, and even regardless of remaster or not,
it still looks so much nicer than a lot of movies now.
It looks really good. I know you and I, outside of the context of this podcast, that we've discussed about CGI and what looks good, what doesn't. Yeah. How sensitive are we to CGI? This didn't bug me at all.
Did they even use CGI? Some of it, right? With the scene with the X-ray and like the skeletons.
That would look almost more like animation than CGI.
Yeah, I could see that as animation.
Yeah, but it worked. It worked for everything, and it didn't seem like it was. I'm sure it was limited by the technology of its time back in the 90s, but it works.
But sometimes there's limitations. With the right people they become pretty creative with a lot of that stuff.
We do see that in other mediums like gaming, where the hardware may not be so powerful, or the game engine, so it forces developers to make creative decisions and think outside the box. And we've gotten some of the greatest games ever because of decisions like that.
Yeah.
And it works. And I think this movie is
same with movies.
Smart example.
Like Star Wars and everything. It's like that's a classic example.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the story of like George Lucas having like very limited resources and very limited time and a lot of issues with his with making the first Star Wars, but it still holds up today.
Yeah,
special effects and what his little vision was.
Mm-hmm. Like even the advanced digital versions, they still look really solid. Yes, it's not perfect, but it looks really good for what the story is trying to tell. It's this big space opera, and it works.
And Total Recall is like it's all props, like the sets and everything.
Uh-huh.
It's like obviously like the one scene when the coworker was like trying to drag him away with his henchmen, like they hit the wall, and it was like flapping a little bit because it was a fake wall.
But it's supposed to be concrete.
Yeah, it's supposed to be concrete. It's like little things like that you catch.
Yeah, it's a little imperfections.
And it's like when he removes the super high tech fat suit.
Oh yeah.
And it's like Arnold's head pops out from inside the lady, and that it looks obviously fake, but it's still a pretty well done head. Yeah,
there was a thing or two that nitpick you a little bit, but overall it looked great. There was nothing that looks terrible. Nothing like that.
This was a well-made movie.
Mm-hmm.
The props, it was like the whole. If they use CGI, it might have been when Quieto goes into his memory and like sees the alien ruins.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might have been a CGI shot.
Yeah. Oh, when they're
maybe it was like a little prop skit.
It kind of looked like a drone shot where it's like a continuous movement. That could be CGI. Yeah.
And I don't know how to do that. That's like before drones and before maybe that could have been CGI right there.
It looked good. Yes, you could tell it was supposed to be. It's not as realistic, for lack of a better word, as the rest of the movie.
It worked.
But it worked. In the context of a flashback and a psychic reading some guy's mind, it worked great, and I dug it.
Yeah, it's like I forgot how much special effects and props they used for this movie. It was actually pretty well done.
Mm-hmm.
And they even designed like those tunnel diggers for the mines. It's like somebody had to come up with that.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the thing actually working, like the drills moving and all that.
Yeah, it wasn't just sitting still and then we're gonna add some like effects and dust to hide it. Like no, it looked like it was an actual moving prop and it looked great.
And like I said, like the makeup on like the mutants and all that, like the guy with the mutant hand, big mutant hand.
Yeah.
Quieto himself. A spoiler. It turns out that Quieto's a mutant who's attached to like what looks like a regular guy.
Yeah.
So he opens up his jacket and shirt, and then Quieto pops out, and he looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like he looks like fucking like an actual like twin brother attached to him, right?
Yeah. Quato is the rebel leader, so the bad guys are looking for him, but he's hidden. That's why he's been able to hide so long, because nobody knows what he looks like, because he's hidden inside of another guy.
Yeah.
So, but it worked, and then like I said, it's gonna be a tiny bit, but nothing takes you out of the movie. Mm-hmm. And I just really enjoyed it. It was pretty much a nonstop ride with good pacing, good story, good acting, good effects, and then also the overall ambiguity of the ending.
What's the negative that you probably? It doesn't have to be like something bad.
It really,
even if it's like a little nitpick.
I'm not gonna say it's a negative, but the simplicity of the story. Oh, you are super secret agent. Yeah. You're unstoppable. I mean, the one thing that kind of took me out a tiny bit is when he's fighting. So they are looking for the MacGuffin, the big machine that saves the world or whatever. Mm-hmm. He's got to go start it. He got to go turn the button on, and then they're trapped in a cave with a giant drill coming at them, and then he just casually, here's Here's a weapon to help defeat him. He walks into the drill without getting pulverized, and then he stops the machine perfectly.
He gets cut up a little bit.
It's a little bit. So does the girl. But I was just things like that where you can tell it's a little too easy. Things like that, but
maybe,
it worked.
Maybe it plays into the idea that's a simulation.
But that's the thing. It's a perfect cover. That it's so convenient. Like the guy. Like the guy who gives him the suitcase. He shows up at the hotel. The second he closes the door, the phone rings. Hey, here's this guy. You've never seen him, and you'll never see me again. Here's everything you need in a perfect suitcase that you told me to leave for yourself in the past. Like, it's such a too perfect. But things like that. But I'm nitpicking. I'll admit I'm nitpicking. But if you just kind of go along for the ride, it works.
Honestly, I don't have any negatives. Maybe just Arnold just being kind of stilted.
He's hammy.
He's a little hammy.
Yeah.
He's hamming it up.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing more is really required of him. He does his part well. It's like I said, it's a very simple story.
Mm-hmm.
But it's made complicated by the implications of simulation.
But it also plays we might be going a little bit in circle, but it plays perfectly into the whole. This is an implanted memory, so we're gonna kind of keep it simple.
Yeah,
and it works. And I really don't have any. It really isn't any negatives. It didn't feel like it dragged too long. The acting was good. The effects were good. I really don't have any complaints. This is not my favorite movie of all time out of nowhere, but it is a good movie. It's recommended, and it's a classic for a reason.
Ooh. So how does it? In what way will you rank it between this, Starship Troopers, and RoboCop?
First, let me throw this out that it's not as good as Hercules in New York.
Bullshit. That's all bullshit.
No, okay, sticking to the vein. So between the three Verhoeven movies that we're aware of, that's a tough one because I like all of them for different reasons. I think
they have similar themes, but they're all very different in their way.
And they definitely keep. It seems like Verhoeven's style is gratuitous violence.
Yeah.
Very gratuitous violence, and people with RoboCop.
He's not afraid to do it.
RoboCop shooting the guy in the dick, and then Starship Troopers, like the other soldiers that you don't care about, get ripped apart. They rip into pieces, and that one guy gets like impaled in the brain. And it's like this movie is pretty violent. Like I mentioned, the guy in the tank with the drill, he gets like an industrial axe, like a drill axe, and he gets shoved into his like torso, and he dies horribly. And then you see like chunks of meat at the end of it when Arnold pulls it out. Like, that dude got liquefied. He got McFlurried really hard. But it has that. Going back to the question you asked, I think this is still third. I think it might be a little bit of recency bias against it. Because I've watched like Starship Troopers like 2 or 3 times. I watched RoboCop for years. I think for me, Starship Troopers is still towards the top, even if it may be the cheesiest of them all. A little controversial, I guess, but overall, I didn't care about that. I just loved the action and the "we need you to be" and essentially be a meat grinder. Starship Troopers, if I had to put it in, Starship Troopers, RoboCop, and this. But none of these movies are bad.
No.
This is my personal.
It's just
opinion.
A fun little ranking.
Yeah, it's my personal opinion. This is not fact. This is not the best of all time. It's my favorite of these 3 movies in that order. But they're not bad.
I think for me, probably I like RoboCop more, and then Total Recall, and then Starship Troopers will be third for me. But they'll have a very violent, quirky humor. No, not quirky humor. Campy humor that Verhoeven does. But I don't know. Obviously, this is one of the big movies he's made. I'm kind of interested in seeing his other movies that I haven't seen, like Basic Instinct.
Showgirls.
Oh, Showgirls. We're raving about his movies, how great they are. And this is the infamous movie that was bombed and that nobody likes. Showgirls.
I've watched that movie.
Is it bad?
It was. I don't really. It's not on the list for a reason. I guess anyone can say, and any director of filmography will not. No one bats 1,000. Every director will have a movie that didn't stack up as a little bit of stinker. But this movie isn't about Showgirls. This isn't about Basic Instinct. I've never seen that movie. We should watch it. We should talk about it. It might be upcoming eventually. But when it comes to this, I do like his filmography, and I did like this movie, and it was very much his style, and it worked.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it, and I really do regret that not watching it. I see a lot of guys quote air quotes nerds or sci-fi communities, whatever.
Movie buffs.
Movie buffs too.
Mm-hmm.
Guy fans of Verhoeven. It's a good movie.
No, it's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well done from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all we have to say on it. We've been raving about it the whole time. But
pretty much,
it's a good movie.
It's very
what
good.
What more can we say?
It definitely deserves the praise. I'll say that. Like, I know people have talked about it because it's been around for a while and it's very popular in sci-fi and stuff like that. It deserves it. It isn't something that's like it's so bad it's good. This is just well made.
So for like any young people out there that haven't seen any of the older movies, this is a recommendation for sure. All right, so I guess we'll end it there.
Yeah.
All right, this has been Christian, and this is
Marvin.
And thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Yeah.